Ryan Miller of Freedom Payments. They joined the chamber recently, and we're here to learn a little bit more about their business. Welcome, both of you.
Glad
Thank you.
to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So tell us a little bit more about Freedom Payments and the services that you provide businesses here in the Treasure Valley.
So, we're a payment processor, right? We help customers integrate with POS systems or supply the POS systems or just a simple card terminal. And so that's our mainstay. That's what we focus on right now. We have quite a few clients already in the Treasure Valley. But yeah, that's who we are. And I'd like to think we're different, right? As Jeff and I come from different industries. One thing that we noticed is we get a lot of OU guys. And so we're trying to change that in a lot of different ways. So, and we can touch on that a little bit later, but yeah, so primarily that, and we are the owners, right? So we're not reps, we're not working for someone else. We hyper focus on studying the industry, being up to date on the latest technology or laws or anything in the processing world. So, yeah.
You were talking about technology and point of sale terminals and things like that. I'm really impressed. Every day it seems like that technology just gets better and better and makes it so much easier for customers and the businesses that provide those.
Yeah. And we're getting ready to look at a couple other technology partners right now. We have a really good partner right now that has a full support team that we outsource, and they're a great partner.
All US based too, which is important to us.
Yeah. But we're looking at kind of expanding on that and bringing other new technology partners with other POS options and integrated type technology to take payments and scheduling and booking. So we hope to launch that by late July.
Okay.
So,
excellent. Well, I know you both just mentioned you're the owners and you come from different industries. Jeff, tell us a little bit about you personally and your professional life before Freedom Payments.
The one we met in the Army, that's how we met. So we are veteran owned. Miller and I deployed to Baghdad, Iraq together in 2010 and 2011, and have just stayed best friends since. We always knew that we wanted to open up our own business, but we were just waiting for the right timing and then what that business was. When we first joined the Meridian, or not the Meridian Chamber, when we first joined the credit card processing industry, we didn't know that it was such kind of a hated industry, kind of dirty. And so when we first joined, we're used to people loving us for being veterans and serving our country. And so it was kind of a shock factor for both of us. And so we knew that we had to kind of change our approach and work on changing the industry and what people think of a payment processor. And so that's what we have focused on now. But when I got out of the Army, I went into business with my wife. She owns a local online women's fashion boutique. Okay. And so her and I have been doing that all through COVID. And then I went from the Army to selling women's clothes, and I was like, I need to do something else now. I needed to get my man card back, per se. And so I called up Miller, and we decided on Freedom Payments. And so that's kind of the history. I do have a wife and 4 awesome kids, and we live over here in South Meridian.
Excellent. And then Ryan, what did you do before Freedom Payments?
So obviously the Army with him, we were with the 116th National Guard, and he's actually, he doesn't always like to tell people because he doesn't like to brag, but he ended up as an Apache pilot was his last mission with the military. And so I always kind of proud of my best friend, but he doesn't say much. So I do it for him. I do the bragging for him. But so got back from Iraq when I served with him in 2010 or 2011. And full time, I was a deputy sheriff out in Elmore County. Okay. And so when I came back, my wife is also a first responder. We met working both at the Idaho State Correctional Institution before I went to the sheriff's office, and then she went to the county. And it was just time to hang up the badge and hang up the civil service. It was taking a toll on me. And so I ventured into the sales world and was selling solution sales and copiers. And then I grew into management and sales coaching. And so had a knack for, quickly understood how to, do B2B business, how to gain interest, how to provide a solution. And so he actually came to me with several businesses because he did want to work with me and I wanted to work with him, but we couldn't find something that was like, so we picked this industry, which everybody seemed to dislike, but we're changing that. And so, yeah, that's what I did before, and actually just left March 28th, my full-time job. We started this last year, but quickly we knew that I could take the plunge. And so right now, as we grow this, I'm living off my savings and he's living off his. And so we're not even taking a dime from the business as we grow this.
Well, I want first say thank you both for your military and your civil
Thank you.
service. We really do appreciate everything you've done for our country. So thank you so
Thank you.
much. Gentlemen, what makes Freedom Payments different? What sets you apart from, as you mentioned, all the other payment processing companies out there? What's going to set you apart? What do you do for your customers?
You want me to take that one?
Yeah.
So what we find is that, number one, in this industry, a lot of them are reps, right, working for big corporations. And then there's some of those smaller independents that don't necessarily scale it, right? So those are the two most common types of interactions folks will have with those. And so there's attrition in those roles, and people will come and go. So the relationship is not the best. And it's fairly short-lived. And so what happens after that rep leaves, or that independent goes on to do something else, there's a lack of customer care there. So that's the big thing, is being the owners, and I guess really being who we are, and the past industries and military and law enforcement. We have a different mindset of follow through and how we approach every transaction and how we maintain that customer relationship. So that's probably number one. Number two is, we noticed that as we went out there, we got a lot of OU guys, right? Like we talked about earlier. And that was tough for us, because we're like, well, we're great guys. We're honorable. We do, we're not the usual suspects. And so Jeff and I just kind of happenstanced. He was heading to Salt Lake or something for a baseball game for his daughter. And usually we do our introduction videos of our new clients together. And so when he was gone, I thought, well, I'll just play around with Canva and do a video for one of our customers out in Caldwell Floral. And I did this voiceover, and my wife actually kind of gave me a hard time. And she's like, it sounds like a commercial. And I said, well, I guess it kind of is. The customer loved it. Mm-hmm. And so as Jeff and I were sitting down talking one day, at the end of the day, I says, man, what if we provide this to our customers and we grow upon this, and it's a differentiating factor? And he's like, I like that idea, man. So we started working together, and 2 months ago we said, you know what, let's offer this as a free service to our customers. So it does a couple of things. One is, we want to generate business for our clients. We want to generate a spotlight onto their business. And a lot of these smaller businesses that we work with, they don't have the knowledge, the time, the capability, or maybe even the money. Well, we're astute enough that we've put some time and energy and invested in knowing how to do these things. And so just for being a part of Freedom Payments, you get one free video a quarter, where we showcase you, we promote it. And as we grow and revenue grows, we'll actually put money towards that. So that's the second differentiator. I'm sorry, we have a couple.
That's okay.
The third one is Idaho Backcountry Veterans. So 10% of our profits on select programs go right to them. So we just did a live video, I don't know, a month ago, giving them 3 months of checks, and those will happen every month. And so it helps us, in our community. It helps the vets in a lot of different ways. And one of their biggest goals is to combat suicide. So that's really near and dear to our heart. We've lost some brothers and sisters to suicide, and so it's a real thing. And so that's really awesome. Another differentiating, and that's ongoing for indefinite. And we want to expand on that at some point. But and then the last differentiator is our Freedom Connect program, and that is every month starting in July, we'll do a drawing from our own customer list. And we will go to that customer after we draw their name and spend some dollars, maybe $200, maybe $300, whatever it may be, on services, a gift card, gift certificate, something. And then we'll do a second live drawing and give that to one of our other customers. So we're going to connect our customers in a different way. And 9 times out of 10, if you get a $200 or $300 gift certificate to, say, Butler Auto in Nampa, yep, or you're gonna spend a little more, right? Yeah. So it generates revenue and business and connections. And lastly, with that, it creates content, right? Businesses, it's hard to create content all the time. So, you know, one of our goals is to always keep our customers actively engaged. And all these programs, what they do is they keep us connected with that customer. So we're not just selling and leaving. So those are some of the differentiators.
Oh, excellent. Well, guys, what is the best way for viewers to get in touch with you if they want to learn more about Freedom Payments and talk to you about helping their business?
Yeah, they can reach out to either Ryan or I, and then email us. And you'll have our email on the screen, contact@myfreedompayments.com. That's the best way to get in touch with us. We'll set up a discovery meeting, and then we'll sit down there and see what their needs are and how we can help them.
Okay. Well, hey, gentlemen, thank you so much. Jeff?
Yeah, thank you.
Very
Appreciate
nice to
it.
meet you.
Yeah, appreciate
Ryan,
it.
Thank you so
Yep.
much for joining us today on Business Buzz. To wrap up, we've got